All right, hey guys, welcome in. Today got a fun new project having to do with symmetry and making a family tree for you guys. I do this project for about first or second grade. Some years I kind of switch it up, but it has to do with when they learn symmetry. So let's get right into it. What I need from you guys to do, so when I start this project, the first thing I have them do is take their sheet of paper and fold it in half. The reason we're folding it in half is so that we can have both sides even. That's what symmetry is. I'll talk a little bit about symmetry and maybe some animals or maybe some objects that are symmetrical. We'll talk about having the same thing on one side as the other side a lot in this project. So make sure you pay attention to that part of it. So as we get into our tree, we're gonna do kind of a family in a tree. So the first thing that we need is a tree. So the tree design that I start off, since we have this kind of line in the middle of our paper, we wanna kind of do one on one side and one on the other. So whatever you do on one side, try to do something similar on the other side. So when we start off our tree, I will kind of do a curvy, you want to think about having like the tree trunk down here and the big part of the tree, the top of the tree above. So probably about the size of your hand on the top. I'm going to have a curvy line on this side and a curvy line on this side. About even, about the same size, not a straight up and down line, should have a little bend to it. For the top of it, almost like a cloud or almost like in a circular motion, kind of little squiggle lines will go all the way up and then all the way down. That's how we're going to make kind of the big part of our tree. So kind of go out and then back in, out and then back in, out, back in on each one, and then do the same thing on the other. The top of our tree. And then for the bottom, I'm just gonna leave this, but if you have an idea that that's where the grass or that's kind of where the ground, if you wanna put a light line, like you can probably barely see my line at all on there, it's really, really light. But that's kind of gonna be where the grass will kind of go, but we'll do that in color. So I'm gonna go over this in Sharpie first, just so you can see it a little bit better. So let's go through that real quick. All right, so there it is. Looks definitely like a tree. And then now for the grass, I got kind of a darker green. So if you want to grab a darker green for the grass, and again, we're going to kind of color in a pattern like grass, kind of up and down, and just kind of layer those on top of each other, right over each other on top. So I'm going to fill that in, and I'll go through that real quick. Okay, so there I got my grass. You could see sometimes I kind of go this way at a diagonal line. Sometimes I went up and down like a straight line. So sometimes I went up, sometimes I went sideways, but kind of filling in all those little empty white spots in there. Now, onto the people. How I make my people, I try to make them almost like a Lego person. I'll show you some pictures of those just to kind of get you an idea of not making stick people. That's my big goal, is to get people away from doing stick people, even as young as first graders. How I do a Lego person is I start off with whatever, it's gonna be a boy and a girl, and these are gonna be people in your family. So again, we're trying to put, if there's one person on this side, there should be another person on this side. So try to keep it even, either on the ground. I probably do more adults on the ground. So when you're doing this, you can put grown-ups on the ground. If you want to put the kids climbing in the tree, that could be kind of fun. So I'm gonna actually put me and my wife, and then I'm gonna put our kids up in the tree, up in here. So as I go through that, I'll just show you guys a quick idea for me. So if I was over here, I would kind of do my circle head and then my little neck. I always do like a t-shirt, little line on the bottom, and then kind of like a square body for boys. I'll do kind of a bigger, almost like rectangle down here with a line down the middle, and then kind of an oval for my feet. And then maybe I'll have one arm sticking up like a rectangle and maybe one arm going down. Put little circles on the bottom for the hands. Doesn't have to be super detailed. Remember, these are kind of like a Lego person. And then I'll do my spiky hair on the top. I'll do my eyes, nose, and I'll give myself a big smile on there. I'll put little dots in the circles on there. I could even put some ears on there. The more detail that you add, the better. I could put a little shirt on there. Maybe I'll put a little Nike shirt on there since I do like Nike. So I can put that on there. The more details, like I said, the better. You can put a little lines on the arms for the t-shirt. So that's mine on this side. And then I'll do my wife on this side, and I'll go through that real fast for my kids in there. All right, so there I got some of my people into here. Like I said, I got my wife in her little striped dress down there. I got my son, my daughter, and I put it in the middle since I tried to kind of keep it even. So you can always put, if you have an extra person that doesn't kind of make it even on both sides, you can put them in the middle, or even in the middle down here if it's a grown-up. That's kind of, you got an extra grown-up kind of in the middle. You could do it so it's even on both sides. Remember, that was the idea, so that it's symmetrical. So then I'm gonna outline that in Sharpie, color in my tree and my background, and make it look all fantastic and awesome. All right, so there it is, guys. I thought it turned out really, really great. I was happy with how it turned out at the end of it. I added a couple different things that I wanted to show you guys. I did use a Sharpie, kind of a smaller, finer point, almost like a pen Sharpie, to do some of the details on my people, because they got a little bit small, but I think it turned out all good in the end. Especially me with my Nike shirt and shoes that were matching. I like my wife's rainbow dress onto there, and then my kids kind of hanging out in the tree out there. Again, symmetrical, so the same on both sides. I even put my son in the middle so I wouldn't have to put two sons on there, and tried to color it in. A couple of the coloring strategies that I used for the upper, I kind of did like a circular motion, if you could see that, with the top, and kind of blended a couple different colors into my tree, and then almost like zigzags for the tree bark. I even put a little squirrel hole. Without a squirrel, I tried to do like a little cardinal in there, if you can tell, onto there. But all in all, I think it turned out really, really good. So thank you guys for viewing. As always, I am Mr. Shooty. This is Mr. Shooty's Art Channel, and we will talk to you guys later.